everybody, my name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Beasts and Beauty by Soman Chainani. When I started my reread of The School for Good and Evil, I was like, okay, I'm super into this. I want to go back and read some stuff that I missed from Soman Chainani because he wrote The School for Good and Evil and then he wrote this book that we were talking about right now, Beasts and Beauty, which is short stories. It's retellings of several classic fairy tales like Peter Pan, Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, and then he also continued writing books in the School for Good and Evil trilogy, series, all that kind of stuff. This book, I think, fits into the School for Good and Evil world because it's these classic tales that we think we know, and it tells it in a completely different light, and I was so into it. I am giving this book an A-, and that's because with all anthologies, like, some stories are better than others. Like, there were some fairy tales that really gripped me. Some of them where I'm like, man, this is so good, especially Peter Pan. That Peter Pan story, it's the last one in the book. It was so good. He honestly saved the best for last. And honestly, I think he started off really great with the Red Riding Hood. I think the Beauty and the Beast story was so good. Like, there was so many interesting things with this story. And I could just see this being former students of the School for Good and Evil going out and finding their fairy tales, and it happening a little bit differently than what the historian wrote down. Now, that's just me. I don't think these books have anything in common other than the fact that they are collections of fairy tales, but Soman Chainani really does have a signature take that he likes to put on stories, and he likes to challenge them. He likes to say, okay, so these books, these stories like to draw lines between good and evil, between, you know, beautiful and ugly, between boys and girls, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to say, well, what if it happened this way? What if the story we know isn't exactly what happened at all? And he starts that off very provocatively with the story of Red Riding Hood and completely flipping it around with why these girls are going out into the woods, what happened to Red, why was she going out there that day? I really loved the story of Snow White and how he flipped that one around. I love the way that he explored a friendship within Cinderella. It just added so many different layers to all of these classic stories, and I really, really enjoyed reading it. It's only about a 6-hour listen, so I would highly recommend picking it up, and I think it's one that if I had read this when I was like super obsessed with my like fairy tale retellings, it would have just like completely shaped me as a person. But as it is, I think it was just so good. I definitely want to reread some of these stories over and over and over again, especially the Peter Pan one. Listen, I was a Peter Pan girly in high school, okay? So if high school me had read this story, I would have been like, blasphemy. However, the fact that he took this story and he's like, weren't we all a little kid who grew up and fell in love with Peter Pan, and then what happens if that happened, but then you grew up and now Peter Pan wouldn't want you anymore? Like, that was inspired, truly inspired. So like I said, I am giving this book an A+, highly recommend it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Talk Books with me every week. That's everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.